So what we learned when looking at those is that accounts that were saving, averaging 20 saves or more per pin, which is kind of a lot these days, are pinning way more original content or creates than they are saving. So the importance of new images is becoming more and more apparent. So when we looked at those January 2020 pins with over 5,000 saves each, only 18% of them were saves themselves. So the rest of them were the first time that image went out.
And that was had a cat exclamation at the end. That's how important it was that
I
we heard.
mean, he is really into this.
Yes, he loves the data. Yes, so
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, so we did a study, a slightly different study that had a similar conclusion, and that was in November 2020. We did a study of 160,000 pins across 1,500 accounts for about a 4-month time period. And we found that if you're thinking about the total engagement you're ever going to get on this one image, this one piece of content, the first time that image goes out is going to get you 71% of your saves.
Mm. Say that again.
So
I want to say I
yeah,
just say that one more time. Okay.
okay. We found that the original create or that first time your image goes out is going to account for 71% of the total saves that will ever happen for that image and that content.
This is a big change. I just
Yeah.
stop the presses. Okay. So just I want so a lot of our people who've been on Pinterest for a while, this is breaking our brain a little bit because this is going to change kind of our strategy going
Yes.
forward. And
And this shouldn't yeah, it shouldn't be a big surprise, right?
right.
Because Pinterest came out and told us this. Like, we want new stuff. Our users want new stuff. And it doesn't mean you can never reshare or save because that 29% average engagement is going to come from that second time you pins, third time, fourth time. But it does drop off. Like the number of saves you can expect on a pin drops off like tremendously after that first time and then just keeps going down.
So I have a question. Question.
Okay.
This is from Laura. Actually, it's not my question. Laura says, "So does this mean repinning doesn't work anymore?" So repinning, old term, new term is saves, right? So
Yes. It's
does
very hard
repinning
to.
slash saves, do they work anymore?
Well, we have, if we look at that 100% chunk of all the saves we're going to get, we have 71% coming from your creates, 29% coming from your saves. So that's not nothing.
Right. It's not as much as we used to get.
Right. That's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to get diminishing returns the more often that you save. So our action item here is the best thing you can do. So, taking into account what we're seeing, what Pinterest is saying, is to create the most inspirational and engaging new content ever on your blog, your site, your store, whatever, and pin that. And then creating a couple of images for that content can help you get to a broader audience. But the second best thing you can do is to create new images for existing, still relevant content. So, with that in mind, a study we ran in pins published July through October, we found that pin engagement starts to drop off about 60 days after you publish.
Ooh, so it
So,
used to be like pins lasted forever. Now it's, what did you say the
yeah,
time was again? Say that again.
60 days. So, I think that the half life, so the time when you get your first 50% of activity on a pin used to be about double that, so
Right.
about 120 days. Now we're seeing it starts to drop off at about 60 days after you first publish.
Do you have any theories of why that may be? Is it because it's getting more and more crowded? Is it because
Um,
the algorithm? What are your thoughts on that? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I guess I hadn't really thought about why that would be other than like Pinterest told us they were going to do this. So probably it is an algorithm
Right.
issue.
Hmm.